To start, part your hair off where you always part it. For me, that's gonna be a middle part. Now we're gonna section off a rectangle because we're just going to do the part line. So we're just creating a box. It's going to look like this, a rectangle. If you part your hair to the right, where it would be right here, you're going to move the rectangle to that part line. We're going to be doing an alternate between low lights and highlight, using a color and then using a bleach or lightener. For the low light, we're using color from Sally's. It's generic Demi Permanent Gloss Color. It's comparable to Redken Shades EQ, and we're using shade 8N. 8N is not very dark. It's right here. It's just a neutral based brown. You mix this in a 1-to-1 ratio, which means 1 part hair color to 1 part processing solution. I just use an ounce of color with an ounce of this solution. If you are duplicating this, just know that this is a very liquidy hair color. You can get Demi Permanent hair color in a cream form in a tube where it's a little bit thicker. We are putting this in foil, so it's not really the best choice. I just really like this color in this brand. Demi Permanent because I want this to slowly fade out over time. It's not going to wash out the next day. It's just eventually over time, it will slowly start to fade out versus permanent color. When it grows out in lines. You can see it. That's what I'm trying to avoid. For the lightener, we're using Quick White again, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio, so 1 part lightener to 1 part developer and 20 volume because I am not the fastest at doing this technique. So last week we did the sides in the rainbow pattern. This week we're going to do them the opposite way, like this. Horizontal, ding, 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 a mohawk. To start, we're going to take a horizontal subsection. This is the money piece I've been working on. I'm going to add in low lights to help blend this line of demarcation, my new growth to the old money piece. So for this part, the foils are going to go forward, which is going to be a little tricky because they do want to slide. For me, I'm going to do super thin weaves, grab what's on top, just so this can be as natural as possible. Taking your foil, making a little lip on the wire rat tail comb. This flap is gonna go on the bottom. This is gonna catch any hair color that might seep out. Take it in the middle and down. You literally are using one eyeball to make this happen. Dropping it off in the middle, horizontal, vertical at the top to get the staggered effect, not going past the foil. Using my hand as a little paddle board, brushing it through, making sure it's all saturated. This does get a little crazy, so I'm gonna fold the sides in this time. This is our darker color, so now I'm gonna do a blonde. Super thin subsection, I'm not gonna leave any hair out just for the money piece. If you're not trying to blend a money piece, you can skip some hair in between. Pulling it up, making sure it's not too thick. Starting in the middle, pull it down. Using the one-eyed approach. Dropping it off in the middle, holding it really tight, and then taking it vertical to get the staggered effect so it's not a crispy line. We should almost be out of the money piece zone. Another horizontal subsection, just straight across. Take off the top. That's the part we're gonna foil. You leave this in between. That helps create a natural look. Hold this tight and it's up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Pull what's on top. This one is going to be the lightener. Dropping it off in the middle and trying your best to not overlap any kind of lightener. Fold this over for my one eyeball. Take this vertical. Leave the ends out. Horizontal subsection straight across. Grazing off the top. I'm gonna take out that little highlighted part. I'm just gonna make this one a slice like this. So that has no weaving. It'll give it heavier dimension. I have pretty fine hair, so sometimes slicing makes it look like you have thicker hair. Another horizontal subsection, slice off the top, weaving it. And if you want a really natural look, you can tease the top. It's like the worst comb to use. There we go. That's going to give you more of a root for a grown out look. Okay, I'm gonna lightly kiss that because it's looking a little dark. It's not too bad. Leave the ends out, fold this. I'm gonna go through and finish this part, and then I'll show you how to do the very back. When you get to the back here, I'm gonna do 2 foils and they're actually gonna be going this way. It's going to pull it too much if you continue forward. You can actually start going backwards right about in the middle of your head. To me, it's just a little too complicated. This is already hard enough. So the foil is going like this. And if you have 2 mirrors, like one in the front, one in the back, to be able to see, I do not right now. So we're just kind of guessing. I know it's just my root area. Last one is right here. So now let's just do color. Keep that blonde one out. I am the worst at folding foils. They were out of paper again at the supply store. It's almost like a sign that I need to work on folding my foils. This foil is slipping, I felt it. And that's the thing with using this thin hair color. It has nothing to grab onto, so it does slip. The processing for this is 20 minutes, up to 40 if you have gray hair. If you're doing lowlights and highlights, you just need to be mindful that the lightener doesn't have a processing time. You just have to check it. So it's best to go back to the first lightener foil you did. That one is already done because you're looking at the level. How light or dark is it? Not the tone, because the tone is yellow. You lighten hair with bleach, lightening it up, and you get rid of the yellow-orange tone it has with a toner. This is already done, so how to take this out, you're gonna take a towel, put it right here, spray water on it, and swipe it out. That way the color will have the full 20 minutes to develop and you're not gonna over-process the blonde. Here it is after we're done. My money piece is blended much better. It's a very soft blend. Honestly, this one is getting on my nerves because it's too chunky, but a toner will blend it in. But you can see I don't have that huge line of here's my roots to the rest of my hair. And when you start parting this off, it blends nicely to the highlights we did last week, the horizontal ones. You could even combine this video with the last video. You would part off your hair in the mohawk section, do that horizontal, and then the sides this way if you wanted.